Hi all, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to share about what exactly is Salesforce testing. Okay, so basically here Salesforce testing is nothing different. Okay, so we are going to follow the same testing strategies, testing process which we follow while testing other applications as well. But the only difference is we are going to test the applications related to Salesforce platform. We might test on Salesforce. Also, we might test the applications which are integrated with Salesforce. Okay, so that is the only difference, but the testing strategies, process, all the things which we follow while testing any other application, everything is going to be the same. Okay, that is one thing. Okay, so another most important thing is before jumping into Salesforce testing, or if you're aspiring to become a Salesforce tester, first learn the Salesforce admin concepts. Okay, so going to start testing any application, you need to understand the application. Okay, you need to understand the system, how it works, everything, right? Then only you can properly test that application. So this is very important, guys. I have seen a lot of people simply jumping into Salesforce QA role, and they just say that they know Salesforce testing and they simply just start testing, but they don't even know the minimum basic concepts of Salesforce administrator. Okay, later on they struggle actually while testing the Salesforce applications. Okay, because they don't even know the minimum basic concepts, right? So this is really important, guys. We need to have a clear understanding of Salesforce administrator concepts. Okay, if you're attending any Salesforce QA interviews also, you can understand actually everyone is going to ask you about the Salesforce administrator concepts only. No one will directly jump and ask you about what is testing, how you did the testing in your project and all. First, more than 70% of the questions you're going to face are going to be on Salesforce administrator. Okay, so everyone is going to test your knowledge on Salesforce administrator only. So this is very important. Lot of people even ask me like why I'm creating YouTube videos on Salesforce administrator, why not directly on Salesforce testing. So first, understanding this concepts is very important, then you can go ahead and test Salesforce application. Okay, so I hope you guys are clear till here. Okay, so now next thing is Salesforce testing means simply you're not only going to test on the main Salesforce platform. Okay, because sometimes it all again depends on the project you're working. Actually, sometimes there might be an upstream system, right? Upstream system means what? The data into Salesforce might flow from this system. Okay, there might be some other system, some other application which is integrated with Salesforce, right? Be some other system which is integrated with Salesforce. So initially, the data from this system might flow into Salesforce, right? So whatever data you're seeing on your Salesforce platform might come from this another application. Okay, so and from Salesforce, whatever fields or objects you're updating on Salesforce might flow into another downstream system, right? So it happens in this way. Okay, so Salesforce testaments, it's simply not like you're going to test only the Salesforce UI. Okay, you're going to test the integrated applications also which are integrated with Salesforce, right? For example, what might be the upstream system, like for example, like if any person is having an issue, for example, we can take the service cloud. Okay, mainly what is the purpose of the service cloud? If the customer is facing any issue, then he will call to particular call center agent. Then the agent should go ahead and create a case for that particular customer and get that case resolved as soon as possible, right? So directly the what will happen in real time is the customer might call the call center agent. Okay, that agent might not have direct access to the Salesforce application. Okay, so internally, initially, what he will do, first he will log into some upstream system. Okay, which is the main application only for the agents. Okay, then from that application he might navigate to the Salesforce platform. Okay, which is the service cloud. Okay, from this upstream system the agent might navigate to the Salesforce platform, which is the service cloud, and on this platform the agent will gather all the data and create the case according to the customer's issue. Okay, now here we all the data update, everything are happening on this Salesforce platform, right? This updates might be updated in another downstream system. Okay, what is this downstream system? This downstream system might be our internal database of our organization, or it can be anything. Okay, so that's what, guys, just wanted to clear out few things. That Salesforce testing means simply we are not going to log into Salesforce and just test on the Salesforce platform, okay, on the Salesforce UI. This is very important to understand, okay, because there are a lot of misconceptions out there that even I have heard from a lot of other people, that Salesforce testing is easy. Salesforce testing means simply it's a UI testing like any other application. Yeah, that is just a part of Salesforce testing, okay. But see, like we need, as a Salesforce tester, we need to test the other integrated applications like the upstream system, then again the major Salesforce platform, and then the downstream system also. Okay, overall applications, overall the end-to-end testing also we have to do. So a lot of things comes into picture. Okay, so to understand all these things, first thing is you need to be clear on your Salesforce admin concepts. Okay, so that's why if you guys have just gone through my YouTube channel, then initially I have created multiple videos on Salesforce administrator concepts, okay, which are important for a Salesforce QA guide. Okay, so what I suggest is, before watching this video, I want you guys to go ahead and watch all my Salesforce administrator videos. Okay, so you guys can get an idea of, okay, what are all the concepts which are needed. Then you guys can be clear about, okay, what is Salesforce testing. You can just start off with Salesforce testing. Okay, that is the second thing. Next, so you guys understood about what is upstream system, right? So we have to test the upstream system also. Okay, next thing is coming to the major part, which is now the Salesforce platform. Okay, now see, initially first thing is, okay, you're a Salesforce QA person now. Okay, now like in your team they will mention like, okay, now the Salesforce platform is ready for the QA team to test. Okay, the first question which should come into your mind is, in which sandbox the Salesforce platform is ready, in here. What is a sandbox means, again I have created a detailed video, and what is a sandbox in Salesforce, and what are the different types of sandboxes available. So I suggest you guys to go and watch that video and then come back here. Okay, so first thing is, which sandbox, on which sandbox you guys have to test. Okay, so you might be having different QA sandboxes also. Okay, so you need to understand on which sandbox you have to test. Next thing is, you need to get that sandbox Salesforce URL, okay, from your development team or from your Salesforce administrator. Okay, next thing, that sandbox is internally connected to which DB. Okay, that's what I told you right on the top. So Salesforce might be internally connected with another downstream system also. Okay, where whatever data you are updating over here might flow into some other system, and the data might be displayed over here also. Okay, that can be UI, that can be our database also. So you need to know exactly like this sandbox is connected to which database, which server. You got it right. So this is also really important before starting off your Salesforce testing. Okay, next thing, guys, the fourth thing which is really important is, if you're facing any issues while doing Salesforce testing, you need to clearly understand like whether you have to reach out to a Salesforce administrator or a Salesforce developer or your integration dev team. Okay, so a lot of people even don't understand this thing also, but this is really important, because it's not like if you're facing any issue simply you can report it to Salesforce developer. No, in Salesforce developer will not handle all the details. Okay, so people there are different teams for different issues. Okay, so different teams handle different issues on Salesforce. So you need to clearly understand like, if you're facing any issue while testing, to which team you have to reach out. Okay, so here I have listed out a few important issues which I faced during my Salesforce testing. Okay, for example, now they told like, okay, Salesforce platform is ready, and they all also mentioned like, in this sandbox they have given you the sandbox URL, and they also mentioned like, this sandbox is particularly linked to so and so backend database. Okay, now the first thing is, do you have the login credentials to log into that sandbox? Do you have access to that sandbox? So this is the first question you should raise. Okay, so If already the along with these details, if they already provided you the access also, then it's fine, it's well and good. Okay, so regarding access also, there are a lot of things are there, I'll discuss, but the major thing is, first you have to check your access. Okay, so if you don't have access, or if you already have access, and if you're facing any login issue, then you have to reach out to your Salesforce administrator. Okay, in this thing, Salesforce developer will not provide any help. Okay, so if you're facing any login issue, or if you need any access for any sandbox or for anything on the Salesforce platform, you have to reach out to your Salesforce administrator only. Okay, sometimes Salesforce developer also might help you out, but the major thing is you have to reach out to your Salesforce administrator only. Okay, next thing is, again, login might be of two types. Okay, one is the standard Salesforce login. Standard Salesforce login means what? Simply like your username, you will be having a username and a your password. Okay, dedicated username and password for yourself. Okay, now here username means what? It might be your company email ID, or the dedicated Salesforce created email ID. Okay, for your username, that might be your username and your password. Okay, which you have to reset. Okay, for the standard Salesforce login, what will happen? Initially, Salesforce administrator will create your account, okay, on the Salesforce application. Then you will be receiving an email. Okay, if your account has been created, user account has been created, then you will be receiving an email with a verify email details. Okay, so with your username, and in that email they will mention like you have to verify your email. Okay, so when you will click on that verify email button, you will be navigated to a page where you will be prompted to reset your password. Okay, so you have email which you received with the email ID added in that email, and along with the new password which you reset just now. Okay, so you should be able to log in. Okay, so this is called as a standard Salesforce login. Means what? Simple username created for you, okay, and the password which you reset. Okay, this is one part. Okay, another part is what? With SSO. SSO means what? Single sign on. Okay, so sometimes like a Salesforce admin might provide you access with SSO. Okay, so SSO, with SSO means what? With your company username only, you should be able to log in with your Salesforce application also. Okay, like here for standard Salesforce, you have your dedicated email address, right? So here no need of that. Okay, another email address, another username, simply with your company organization username only, you should be able to log in. Means what? With your organization username and with your org password only, you should be directly able to log in, and they might enable you with the multi-factor authentication also, where once you log in, once that MFA is enabled for you, okay, you might receive a code to your mobile. If MFA is enabled, then you have to provide that code also, then you will be successfully able to log in. Okay, this is about the SSO login. Okay, so you guys understood, right? So you need to clearly ask the Salesforce administrator also. Once you receive this sandbox details and server details, you need to clearly ask like which type of access has been provided to you, whether it's a standard Salesforce login or whether it's with SSO. Okay, you got it right. So the point of contact for these details will be Salesforce administrator. Okay, another thing. So sometimes what will happen, even though you will log in, it might show you like your insufficient privileges. Okay, like you cannot navigate to some Salesforce app, okay, where you exactly need to test. Okay, you cannot search with that app. Okay, you cannot go to app launcher, you cannot search with that app, you cannot view that app in the Salesforce app launcher, and it will throw you some error like insufficient privileges. Okay, so for all these issues also, you have to reach out to your Salesforce administrator only, because he is the point of contact. Okay, he is the person who will provide you the access, provide you the privileges, and provide you the access for Salesforce internal apps also, like whether you should have access to your service console, sales console, inside those apps also, like for which objects you need to have access, for which you should not have access. So all these details will have control with the Salesforce administrator only. So before starting testing, you need to be clear on these aspects. Okay, so now I hope you guys are clear about all these details and when you need to reach out to your Salesforce administrator, right? Now the next part is, okay, then when exactly you need to reach out to your Salesforce developer. Okay, so yeah, it's now completely related to your functionality and the code issues, right? So if any functionality is not working as mentioned in the requirements, okay, if any functionality issues are there, or if any code issues are there on the UI, like if any unnecessary pop-ups are coming, if any functionality broke, okay, which is not as mentioned in the requirements. So yeah, if it's completely related to this thing, then you have to reach out to your Salesforce developer. Okay, got it right. Next, another important thing here, I clearly told you, right, like there are some upstream system, downstream systems, and on Salesforce also, like if you're searching for anything, okay, then internally the Salesforce application will call multiple APIs. Okay, internally multiple APIs will be called, and from that data will be displayed on your Salesforce application, right? So here, those APIs also will not be handled by your Salesforce developer. Okay, it might be handled by your other API integration team. Okay, so you have to be clear on this also. If you're facing any API issues, like you're successfully able to log in, you're successfully able to like perform the UI actions, okay, like you are able to click on the button, you're able to provide some data on the Salesforce UI, but when you're trying to search or when you're trying to fetch the data on the Salesforce, it's not working. Okay, like you're getting some pop-up issues or data is not properly displayed, then it's something integration issue, right? It's related to API. Okay, so Salesforce internally will call multiple APIs, okay, to fetch the data onto the Salesforce. So these might be handled by the other integration dev team. Okay, so such issues, again, you have to reach out to your integration dev team. Okay, so guys, another thing, so these things I'm sharing from my project experience, but again, it all depends on different projects, different clients, and how they are following in their particular organization. It might differ from project to project, from organization to organization. Okay, so yeah, so it might be the same also, just I'm providing my experience. Okay, so this is another thing. So very important, guys, you have to understand these things. So it's not like simply we will go ahead, jump, test the UI, test the buttons are working properly or not, test whether data is displaying or not. It's not just as simple as that on Salesforce. Okay, this is the fifth point. Next, the another sixth major point is classic and lightning. Okay, so on Salesforce we have two types of applications. Okay, classic and lightning. Okay, so classic is the older version of Salesforce, and lightning is the newer version of Salesforce. Okay, so you need to be clear on this thing also. Okay, whatever application you're going to test on Salesforce, whether it's on classic or it's on lightning. Okay, sometimes what will happen, some functionalities of your application might be on classic, and the remaining part of your application might be on lightning. Okay, such things also do happen. So before just jumping into the testing, you need to clearly understand, like whether you should be testing on your sandbox. Okay, whatever sandbox has been provided to you, you are going to test on the classic application or on the lightning application, or on both means which functionalities scope is in classic and which functionality scope is in lightning. Okay, you guys got it right. This is also very important to understand. Okay, because again, you might need your Salesforce administrator help over here, because sometimes you might have access only to the classic, you don't have access to lightning. Then you need to reach out to your Salesforce admin and ask him to provide access to the so and so app on lightning application. Okay, so these things are really important before starting your testing. Okay, another thing is what, so we have multiple clouds, right? Multiple consoles on Salesforce, like service cloud, sales cloud, health cloud, community cloud. Okay, so lot of things are there. So again, you need to clearly understand, like for your testing, you need to navigate to service console or sales console or community cloud, or you need to navigate to the health console. You need to clearly understand this concept also, and whether you have access to that particular console or not. If you don't have access, then you need to reach out to your Salesforce admin. So how you will know if you have access or not? Okay, simply once you log in, you can just go to the app launcher, and you can search, okay, service console. If you're not able to view that, or this is generic, guys. Okay, this is very generic, but in real time, actually your console name might be different. Okay, your application name might be entirely different. Okay, so first you have to go and check whether once you log in, you're able to navigate to your particular application or not on Salesforce. Okay, so go to the app launcher, search with your application name. If you're not able to view your application name, then it means what, you don't have access to that application. Okay, so you have to reach reach out to your Salesforce administrator and ask, okay, that you don't have access to your so and so application on Salesforce and you need access. Okay, so you guys got it right. So this is another sixth important point. Okay, another thing is, okay, SOQL query. So this is another SOQL is Salesforce Object Query Language. Okay, it will be similar to SQL queries only, but very important to understand. Okay, sometimes it will be like you will update few fields on Salesforce and you need to check, validate whether exactly those fields are updated or not. So let me quickly show you guys. Okay, so yeah guys, so I just opened some sample org. Okay, so if you want to navigate to developer console, simply click on this. Okay, gear icon and developer console. Okay, and another thing, you can access this developer console only if you have the highest level of access. Means what? Only if you have the Salesforce administrator access. Okay, otherwise you cannot view this developer console. Okay, so you need to understand this thing also. Okay, so as part of your testing, if you have to check any backend details also, whether the details are properly updated in the backend or not. Salesforce backend is what? Nothing but Salesforce backend means you have to click on this developer console. Okay, and you can see, right, query editor. So here you will be writing some SOQL queries. Okay, and accordingly, if you will click on this execute, then here it will provide you the results. Okay, it will be similar to the SQL queries. Okay, almost similar. Okay, few things might not work, but yeah, almost similar. Okay, so this is called as a Salesforce backend. So this thing also you need to understand. Okay, so you guys understood, right? Like when you can view the developer console, when you cannot. Another thing is real time example. For example, on service console, you created cases. Okay, so you have to check, right? Like if any duplicate cases are created or not. Okay, so that time what you have to do at the back end? Okay, you have to go to the developer console, open this query editor, and see simple SOQL query. You can write like this. Okay, select subject count of id from case object. Okay, group by subject having count id greater than 1. Okay, so using the simple SOQL query, it will provide you like what are all the duplicate cases which have been created in your application. Okay, so you can see, right, this particular subject, laptop not working, this is a duplicate case which has been created two times. Okay, so it will display based on the subject here. Okay, so this is a one such very important example which you might come across in your real time Salesforce testing. Okay, so this is all about the SOQL, guys. Very important to understand because at the starting of my Salesforce career, even I am not aware of this. Few people, business people, reached out to me and they wanted to validate the Salesforce backend also. So that time I was like completely surprised. What is the Salesforce backend? Okay, then I learned about this SOQL. Then I understood. Okay, so this is another concept which exists in Salesforce. Okay, so yeah, this is all about. And another thing is the downstream system. Okay, now this downstream system is different from the Salesforce backend. Okay, this can be again your main internal DB. Okay, database server, where for example, it might be the another DB where on Salesforce, if you're updating any data, then it will be reflected in this internal DB also. Okay, this is again separate downstream system. Okay, so you have to test such validations also, like okay, whatever data you're updating on Salesforce, whether it's reflecting in your downstream system or database or not. Okay, so this is all about Salesforce testing, guys, on a high level. Okay, I hope you guys understood. Like, it's not only about the Salesforce UI testing. This is high level overview of what is exactly Salesforce testing from my project experience and how exactly it is in the real time. Okay, so it's simply not about the simple UI testing. Okay, lot of things come into picture and you need to understand the Salesforce admin concepts. So again, I'm repeating, before watching this video, watch my Salesforce admin playlist so that once you're watching this video, you can clearly relate to lot of things what I'm talking about, like what is a sandbox, who is a Salesforce administrator, what are this classic and lightning, what is service cloud, what is sales cloud. Okay, lot of things you can relate. Okay, okay, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope you found this video really helpful. Thank you.